Marketers have always been in a game of like, I'm going to sell you this pen. My game is I'm just going to show you the pen. You sell yourself on why you want it. That's what I do.
Can you be a good salesperson and not take care of your body?
I go and compete with my guys all the time. We jump on role plays and we compete. You know, it's a fun game for us. You know, we enjoy it. We're salespeople. We enjoy competing against each other.
How do you properly prep leads so that when they get on the call with the salesperson, they're already hot?
When I look at marketing now, I don't look to sell. I look to show. That's a big difference between what marketers have done for hundreds of years.
Why are people saying, Bill, I have to be a part of this. I can't leave your community? What's the number one reason? All right, boys and girls, we've got Bill Walsh in the house, and we're going to fix your broken sales today. Bill Walsh has helped over 2,500 students in his Objection Box community turn crappy sales calls into dollar signs. So, Bill, what's up?
What is up? I appreciate you having me, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, kicking it, baby. I'm glad to be here today. And I've got some fun exercises planned here today. I'm going to let you overcome some of my objections in real time. Before we get into that, I am curious, like, what was the moment? What was the moment that you knew you wanted to help people improve their sales? What was that moment?
There was a moment when I used to work for a sales company when they came and asked me to coach objections after 3 months of being in sales full time. I was like, that should not happen. That's not normal. That shouldn't be the case. And ever since then, it was just, you know, wheel after wheel, snowball effect, and off we go. And here we are, you know, 2.5 years later. So I was coaching people to make, you know, double, triple what I was making. And I was like, something's not right here. This doesn't add up. And that was the key point for me of being like, oh shit, you're actually really talented at coaching people. So that was the turning point for me.
What do you find gets in most people's way? Like, is it mindset? Is it discipline? What is getting in people's own way from getting those sales?
Well, there's two things. Number one, you have to have the right skill. And number two, you have to have the right inner belief system, because most people are self-sabotagers or sabotagers, as you know. And most people have no fucking skill. So when you have no skill and you also don't believe that you have skill, then it's a clusterfuck of bullshit. So those are the two things. Number one, you got to be very talented. You got to have skill coming out your earlobes. And number two, you got to truly believe that you deserve to have the outcome that you're wanting and desiring.
So I think, you know, because one of the things I've noticed just kind of researching, watching your YouTube channel, The Objection Box, is you got a lot of swagger. You got a lot of confidence. Were you just born with that? Was that because, you know, your mom nurtured you a certain way? Is it because of success? Like, where do you think that confidence comes from?
My mother never nurtured me at all. It's funny enough, we were raised. We weren't, you know, mollycoddled. We were a family of 3 young boys, very competitive, you know, very boisterous, and, you know, chasing women and fucking, you know, getting in trouble. So we were never fucking raised to be babies. We were raised to be men by a very strong, independent woman. So where it comes from a tremendous amount of skill, but it also comes from a tremendous amount of pain, meaning that I've gone through my own journeys. I've fucking eaten a lot of shit in my life, and you know, I come out the other side of it. So if you do a lot of stuff and you compete at the highest level that I do, you have a bit of swag about you. Why? Because you get to fucking talk for a living and you get to make a shitload of money. So why wouldn't you have swag?
Money definitely helps. We have this kind of belief here in the States right now that we just want to help. We just want to prevent all pain from our kids. Like, we just got to save them, got to protect them. And I get that nurturing instinct, but I'm kind of with you there, Bill. I feel like if you nurture a child too much, they just end up not being able to handle the objections and the harsh realities that life brings. And, you know, I kind of have an interesting dynamic with my wife in that way. She's, you know, the hugger and the cuddler. And I'm like, bud, you got to get up and you got to go, man. You scrape your knee, you're going to be all right.
Well, it's funny because my ex-partner was the exact same, and she's the exact same. I have 2 beautiful little girls. And just for argument's sake, my little girl was at karate the other day and she fucking hit the floor. I didn't budge a motherfucking inch. She looked around, she looked at me, and next minute the coach came up and picked her up. I didn't even flinch. I just left her alone. She's 4 years of age. Most people would hear that and be like, oh my God, you're such a bad parent. All right, cool. Well, I'll see my kid in 20 years' time and I'll see where your fucking kid is at and see what the fuck was going on. So, as long as they're not hurting themselves, she bangs herself off the floor, she picks herself up and she fucking kicks on, So I'm very much like that, That's how I was raised. That's how I'm going to raise my kids. It hasn't done me any wrong, or maybe it has. Who fucking knows? But again, at the end of the day, when I finish and I wrap up this life at hopefully 100 years of age, I will look back and I will count score of what I've done and I will look at what you've done. And then we can compare and compete.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the receipts look like. But I had a proud dad moment the other day. My daughter, soccer tryouts, they blow the horn. Everyone goes running to the middle. My daughter has a collision in the middle, falls down, gets right back up, dribbles the ball down. And then the lightning alarm went off and they called it off. But, anyway, it was a proud moment where she got up. I thought that was cool. I want to kind of stay in this mindset place for a minute because I do think that that's a big part of sales is the swagger and the confidence. If you go into a call without confidence, I feel like the person on the other side is gonna feel that, read that, be like, this person's not confident. They don't believe in the product they're selling. They don't believe in the service. If they did, then they would come in here with that confidence, right? What role does being fit and physically fit and having this beautiful Greek body together play in that? Can you be a good salesperson and not take care of your body?
Well, I think your representation and how you present yourself is a direct correlation to the respect you have for yourself. So it's very hard to portray a level of respect when you're fucking forced on overweight, with all due respect. And, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with the weight. But I also know there's a lot of people out there that struggle with self-discipline. So I think for me, I'm less than 7%, 8% body fat. You know what I mean? And I don't say that for the sake of it. I'll take off my top right now and you can see it. But I do that because I got to lead, I got to show, I got to produce, and I got to stand tall for all of my guys. I got a tremendous amount of people that look at me, for leadership and to guide them and to train them and to develop them and to give them the life that they're not capable of doing themselves. So in order to do that, I have to be mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, all fit. So yes, for me, it's been a tremendous, plus, but I've always been fit. For me, I've been in sport for over 20 years. So, and I was in military. So it's just part and parcel of my life. But yes, I absolutely believe it's really important to represent yourself. It's not going to be the end of it all. If you are absolutely peeled, but yet you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're still going to not make a sale. So, but it can have massive benefits for sure.
I think it's almost impossible to be successful in the professional atmosphere without taking care of your body. It's because you need stamina, you need focus. And I heard this the other day, a lot of statistics are made up. I heard that 91% of Americans feel anxious, feel anxiety, depression's everywhere. Diabetes is everywhere. I don't know if you saw this, Mr. Beast and Logan Paul and KSI just dropped their new Lunchables. It's full of sugar. What are you guys doing? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to go off on a rant right now, but piece of advice is if you're feeling anxious, if you feel a lack of confidence, just start lifting heavy stuff. It changed my life, just lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if you're not going to take care of your body, then it's not going to take care of you. You're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. We're trying to win. We're trying to compete. It's the hardest game in the entire fucking world. It's much harder than being a professional athlete. Only the very, very top people ever win. You look at, if you went and you looked at the top 100 entrepreneurs in the world right now, I would guarantee you over 90% of them are really good shape. They may not be walking around at 10% body fat, but I guarantee you they lift, they train, they develop, they look after their nutrition, they look after their sleep, they look after their supplements, they look after their food. I fucking guarantee you that. I
totally agree. And so I just got back from Patrick Bet-David's Vault conference. Tons of salespeople were there. Andy Elliott was there, a bunch of salespeople, and all these salespeople were fit and dressed to the T, all of them. I think it matters. Like Deion Sanders said, you look good, you feel good, you play good, they pay good.
Yeah. Well, also you went to that vault. There was a couple of 1,000 people there.
6,000. Yeah.
Okay, 6,000 people. Who do you remember straight off the bat? What the fuck did you just say? The fit, the healthy, the people that showed up and actually turned up, meaning how they presented themselves. So there you go. Out of 6,000 people, the only people you remember off the rip right now are the fit and healthy people. So there you go. I don't know. There's something in it, I guess.
100%, 100%. If you're looking for that breakthrough, my first piece of advice to everyone out there is just lift something heavy. See how that works out for you. All right, cool. So I want to talk about Objection Box. I want to talk about your community, Bill, and the results that you're getting there, how you're getting the results, what are the breakthroughs, how have you formatted it? There's all these communities. You're on the school platform, right? And you can get his free. You can join the group for free. The Objection Box on school. That's Hormozy's thing. What was when you launched the group? You had immediate success, right? So walk me through that moment where you hit go on the group, and what was your plan going into launching Objection Box?
Do you know what, Mark? I'm unconventional in a sense of I've always went back to front with everything that we did. Most people want to start it. This is how you open up a conversation. This is how you say hello. This is how you build a report. This is how you build your tonality and all this sort of bollocks. Bollocks is a fucking negative word in Ireland, if you didn't know, guys. For me, I was like, fuck all that. I'm just going to go and show you how to fucking put the ball in the back of the net, which is your objections. You start at the hardest thing and you build out from there. It was the same thing with the communities. I will be very, very honest and transparent with you. I didn't build my community. My team built my community. I built tremendous team players. I built tremendous leaders in their own capacity. They're very talented, all of my guys. And I'm very proud to stand in front of all of those people. So they built it from my direction, and they set the tone, they set the standards. And I'll give you another thing. People know I don't fuck about. So they get 2 days inside. They have to post, they have to learn, they have to adapt, they have to go through the lessons. If you don't, they get kicked out. I kicked out more people out of the community than I have in there. Most people want thousands and thousands of thousands. I don't. I want one person out of 100 people to do the motherfucking work. If they do the motherfucking work, they'll change their life.
Well, if you it's like kind of that old adage, one bad apple spoils the bunch. So I'm with you there on having an organization that has a culture, core values, and if people aren't a fit, then they kind of self-eliminate or they just get eliminated. That's interesting to me that you had your people, your team build and kind of drive this community forward. That's interesting to me. What is your organizational culture, or what does your organizational structure look like? What are your team members? How are they like? Who are the people that you need in place to make that work?
I have Kieran, who basically runs all of the socials. He sets the tone in the communities, whether that's the Facebook community, whether that's the school community. Someone who is really, really talented in a sense of he's been with me nearly 2 years. So he knows how I walk, talk, act, behave, and the standards that I hold for everybody. So he knows that like the back of his hand. And then we have obviously the salespeople. We got the coaches then on top of it. That's what we got. We're a very small team, to be very honest with you, Mark. We've only 10, 11 guys with us. We have videographers, people that build out the socials, people that, run the ads, marketing. We got the coaches, and then we obviously got, the assistants and stuff like that. So not a tremendous amount of people. We're in a bit of a reorganization at the moment. But we're light, but we're fucking powerful.
Yeah. So you got a social media manager, and then you've got salespeople, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's
workers and marketers. That's it.
Yeah,
business, sales, marketing, fulfillment, and operations. That's it.
Yeah. As far as the comp package for your sales guys to build out the community, how did you set that up? Is it salary, commission only?
Yeah. The boys get salaries and they get commissions on top. Yeah, bonuses, whatever they do. Yeah. We
Gotcha.
Yeah, but also a lot of my guys will come. We have very, very loyal people. People in this industry. If you have people more than 12 months, you're doing very, very well. I have people with nearly 2 years. So since we started, so we're like a little family. There's 3 things that we live by: it's loyalty, love, and respect. Those are my 3 core components. If you don't have those, you're not with me. That's it. And that goes both ways. And I give it first, and then they give it back. That's how it works for me.
Dig that. What about competition? How do you implement competition? Because that's one thing that I've noticed about really high performing salespeople is they're very competitive. They're not just like showing up when they want and, oh, let me go out and get a latte. They're like hungry, competitive. That's the best of best. How do you facilitate the competition in your sales organization?
Well, there is that component in other sales organizations where you have the top outliners, I call them mavericks, and then you have all the, the fucking bucket holders, who are pretty piss poor. That's every organization. So you'll always have the top tier, and then you'll have people that are trying to chase them. but they won't chase them, because if they knew what it takes to get there and to sustain it and to keep it, they won't do it. So competition comes from the top down, I've always said. I go and compete with my guys all the time. We jump on role plays and we compete. It's a fun game for us. We enjoy it. We're salespeople. We enjoy competing against each other. So it's encouraged. I never say that's that person's sale, that's that person's sale. They all compete against each other, but it's respectful. That's important. It's a respectful. It was like when we were kids, me and my two other brothers. There was always love at the end of the game, but in the game, I'm going to punch you in the back of the head. That's how it works.
I want to ask you about getting the right leads to the salespeople, because, I'm big in marketing. That's really where I'm focused on. How do we get the leads in? How do we kind of prep them, make sure that the sales team is saying, oh, these are high quality leads? But there's always this kind of, the marketing guys are always blaming the sales guys. The sales guys are always blaming the marketing guys, right? So I guess my question here is, I want to tackle it from the marketing standpoint, because that's what I'm more focused on. How do you, as a marketer, how do you properly prep leads so that when they get on the call with the salesperson, they're already hot?
Yeah, well, what we do and what I've done for 2 years, and I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I didn't turn on ads full time until about 3 months ago, like consistent, month on month on month. I built the first 18 months purely off organic, which is pretty much fucking awesome. Why? Because I built a following, a business, a cult-like culture, purely based off wins, testimonials, case studies, and results. So when I look at marketing now, I don't look to sell, I look to show. That's a big difference between what marketers have done for hundreds of years. Marketers have always been in a game of like, I'm going to sell you this pen. My game is I'm just going to show you the pen. You sell yourself on why you want it. That's what I do. So I went completely against the grain everywhere, where most of you guys are just selling. Jump on a call and we're going to show you and, learn more and all this other bollocks. I'm like, no, this is what I do. This is what I've done. This is the results we get. And if you want to come and let us know, we're not going to chase you.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, on the marketing side, the marketing is already doing the selling. The salesperson is just making sure that that the person is the right fit, right? Just kind of like qualifying almost, right? I mean, that's kind of the way that I see the marketing side. If I'm going to get on a call with someone, I don't want to do 15-minute coffees or whatever. Like, I want to know that there's an actual agenda. Are you interested? Are you trying to reverse engineer and sell me? So I try to qualify people with like the warm-up emails before the call, warming them up, getting them ready. Here's some receipts. Here's some testimonials. What do you want to do? Is that kind of,
Yeah, for sure. Like for us, we do a tremendous amount on the front end. So that's, free coaching, free sessions, free giveaways, free fucking training sessions, everything. I have probably over 100, maybe 200 hours of free coaching out there in the universe. Whether that's my Facebook community, whether that's my school community, whether that's my YouTube channels, whether that's my Instagram, my own personal profile on Facebook. I give a lot of it away. As Hormozy says, give away the information, sell the implementation. That's what I do. I give it away. It's there for you guys. I don't hold a whole lot of it back. I hold it back in order to show you how, but in theory, you can try and put it together if you want. You probably will fail, and that's why you come to us and we actually show you how to use it. So yes, we do a tremendous amount of that. I have more case studies, testimonials than I know what to do with it. Why? Because it's important. 200 years ago, 50 years ago, you had trust for salespeople. Salespeople now, unfortunately, in 2024, nearly 2025 mark, have no trust in the market. So we want to make sure that I've never, as far as I know from the sales team, have got a question of, how do I know you guys are legit? I just met you guys. I haven't done due diligence. I, invested in the past. Maybe you're going to be like those people. We don't ever get those objections. The reason being is because we do a tremendous amount on the upfront.
So the free stuff that you're doing on Facebook, on YouTube, in the school community, people already know what they're getting. They've already kind of sold themselves. Because this is a problem. This is, I think, a real problem for people when they're creating community. I have a client who's kind of in this, we're trying to figure out the right mindset. He's like, well, Mark, I want everyone to buy my digital courses. So I want to hold back with the information that I'm giving. I'm kind of like, this stuff that you're teaching is not simple. It's hard. It's difficult. There's implementation. There's discipline. There's community. There's competition that you need to add in. That's, like you said, that's the implementation. right? Is it kind of broken to say, I'm going to hold back my best advice because I want to put it behind a paywall? Like, what's the right percentage? What's the right way to look at that?
I've always had an obscene amount of confidence in myself. So I could give you everything and you're still probably going to fail because you don't have to use it. If I gave you a Lamborghini right now and you had an idea how to drive the Lamborghini, would you fucking feel confident putting your foot to the floor? Probably not. Once you start going on the motorway and the highway and the freeway and all those stuff that you say over there in America. So it's about, like, take it, go for it, see how it goes. I know you're going to come back. Why? Because I am the only vehicle that is going to get you where the fuck you want to go. So that's fear. That's that person's fear. But I've also, at the start of the objection box, I gave it mostly away because I wanted case studies, testimonials, results. I wasn't afraid to give it away. I wanted people to give it away. My game and job is to get exposure, is to get eyeballs. That's all it is. And I will give it away until the cows come home, as we say in Ireland. Because my job is to give it away. My job is to get you interested. I can't get you interested if I keep putting a paywall. That's how I'm saying. Because everyone wants to buy or everyone wants to sell. Nobody wants to help. I help before I sell. That's why I always sell in the end. Anyway.
Well, it strikes me that a lot of the quote unquote advice that I hear is very kind of generic. It's only there's a few people that actually go in and really dig down into the stuff that matters. And I think that's the people that are giving away the best stuff for free in my experience. I do have another question about your school group here, and I appreciate you being so generous with your time here, Bill. I know you've got a million things going on. Inside the school group, I think you've got 1,500 members in there. What makes them stay? What are you hearing from your group? When someone joins the group and they're involved in your different programs, why are people saying, Bill, I have to be a part of this. I can't leave your community. What's the number one reason?
Number one is results. You cannot throw a fucking ball down my lane without hitting someone that has made 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month. I go every week for the last 2 years straight, like fucking clockwork, every Monday, new client, new win, new case study, new testimony, every week, every Monday. So they stay because they know that's what's up. They stay because they know that uncertainty. They stay because they know that if they keep learning and developing, they can go and help their family change their lives. That's why they stay. They don't stay because I'm cool and I'm beautiful and I have a thick Irish accent and I call people see you next Tuesdays. They stay because they know that I'm certain. And what I'm certain on is getting them the result. That's it. That's just the same thing. Do you have an iPhone, Mark? What kind of phone do you have?
I got an Android.
Yeah, well, fucking Android. Jesus Christ.
I'm the guy that screws up the group chats.
Yeah, we can't invite you into the group chat. But the reason why is because you like it and you know that it's certain. You probably had it for the last 3, 4, 5 years. You probably had different variations of it and different versions because you know what it is. It's consistent. You know what you're getting yourself in for. It's the same thing with me. They know what they're getting.
That's fair. And like the other thing that I find that can be difficult to do is getting people to share their wins and share testimonials either inside or publicly. What do you do to facilitate the sharing of wins in the community?
It's frightening, to be quite honest with you, Mark. I actually get blown away by the amount of shares, wins, case studies, testimonials that we do. And I keep going back to that because it fundamentally built my business. It made me a multimillionaire and it helped a tremendous amount of people. But I'll fucking go to the grave talking about results because it's the only thing that moves the needle. So I explain to all of the salespeople is that's your fucking card now, your CV. The days of handing out CVs and sending out virtual CVs is over. Your social media is your CV. What you put out into the universe is your CV, your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, everything that attaches to your name virtually, online space is your motherfucking CV. And in order to build your name, your brand, your equity, your market share in this industry, you got to be able to produce a tremendous amount of results. I call it the 3 R's. Okay, Mark, and I'm going off on a tangent now. When I get hot, and I'm going to stay hot with you. So the first is your result. Yeah, that's you telling everybody what you do, how you do it, when you do it, why you do it. The second thing is your reputation. Yeah, that's what people know of you. So after you build your results, people start to talk about you. They start to promote you. They start to put you in the right positions. The third aspect of the R's is your relationships. Yeah, This is when people come to you and they say, hey, can you build this out for me? Hey, do you want to partner on this? Hey, do you want to run this team? And then you get overrides and stuff like that. So that's how that works. Most people are in the results business. That's what I do. And I show and coach all of these guys how to take on the market in that capacity.
Dig that. Results, reputation, relationships, and the rest just follows. Yeah, I like that.
If you show people enough results, they'll start to build your own reputation, which is people speak about you before you enter the room. When enough people know your results, when enough people know about your reputation, then naturally what's going to come? Opportunities and fucking new positions and higher level standards, which is your relationships. Correct?
I do want to just talk, I just kind of want to mention on the results. I think, I've been a lifelong employee. I just became an employer a few years ago, right? So I was able to leave my job. And getting focused on results, it was scary for me. It was scary for me. I got focused on, let me just do the work. We're going to stay busy. We're going to make stuff happen. But what I recognized was people I wasn't my clients weren't raving. I wasn't doing A/B testing. I wasn't following the data. And I kind of had this moment. I'll give you the short version. I was kind of at a moment a couple of years ago where I was like, what are we doing? Are we just showing up for the hamster wheel? We need to be driven by something bigger, by a vision, and being laser focused on results. And I really started pushing my team across the board. Whatever they were doing, I said, we're going to compete. I'm going to give you a bonus if you hit this or that. And I kind of said, hey, I'll invest in your software, your hardware, your tech. You want to join a consulting program, coaching program? I'll pay for that too. And it really has transformed the way that I think people and clients look at us, because now I can go in with receipts and then I can show those receipts to the next person. And if I'm not showing receipts, then I think that comes from the confidence too. Working from a place, not a fear-based place, but a confidence, self-actualization kind of mindset.
There's a big thing that you said there, and I'm going to pull you up on it if you allow me to. You said we. There's no we, it's I. You changed, which meant that you changed, which meant that the culture changed, which meant that you demanded more for yourself, which meant that you demanded more from the people that were working with you. That's it. There was no we there. It was I needed to change. I needed to be more. I needed to be a better leader. And then what happens after that? It fucking flows down. That's how it works.
It's a good point. Well received. 2 more questions for you. First question is, best place for us to find you, Bill. Where's the best place for us to find you?
There's loads. We've got a YouTube channel that we're building out right now. It's called the Objection Box / Bill Walsh. We also have a Facebook community with just under 10,000 sales professionals in there, where you can actually go and look for offers. You can go and get education, knowledge, training, all completely free. That is called the Objection Box community. We have a community in the school, which is again the Objection Box community. You can find me on Instagram, which is Bill Welch. I'm everywhere. I'm trying anyway. I'm trying to get my big ugly face everywhere, man.
It helps when you've got a good team that's working with you here. Okay, so I want to walk you through a couple objections here. I'm going to give you a couple objections. I want to hear you overcome them. I want you to sell me. And we'll use this within the context of joining the school community, although you'd have this anywhere. So I'm just going to say the objection, and I want to hear how you handle it. I want to hear you handle it, right?
I'll actually overcome the objection and coach you about what I'm doing at the exact same time. How's that?
Even freaking better, bro. I'll take a 2 for 1.
And I'll tell you this, Mark, there's not a fucking sales coach on the motherfucking earth that will do this. And I wish this was actually live. I wish you had thousands of people sitting here right now and showing you. Because I do it all the time. It's no worry to me. I don't give a fuck. Dig
it. So I'm going to do the objection. I'm also curious, do you have a lot of sales leaders who put their teams or team members into the community?
If I told you who I actually coach, and I told you the businesses that we coach, and the communities that we coach, and the competitors that we coach and that I train and that I place, you'd be fucking scratching your head saying, what the fuck is going on here? So yes. I will leave you with that one. You can make up your own mind on that
one. I'll DM you afterward. All right, cool. Objections.
Cool.
Bill, sounds great. I got to think about it.
Yeah, it's the biggest objection in the market. It's the simplest objection. Yeah, cool. So I would say to you, okay, Mark, and I can definitely understand that. Before you do go and think about it, do you feel like, in your own opinion, what I've given you can actually get you to where you want to go? Or because without that, there is no point even having a conversation moving forward.
Sure.
Okay, but like, why do you feel? That's a double bind now. What would you do?
I'm sorry?
So that was a double bind. What will happen now is you will come back and you will tell me why it works. So why do you feel it works, Mark?
Well, I feel like it works because you showed me testimonials from some of your members.
Right, and that's great, their testimonials, but why does it work for you specifically? Like, what do you feel is going to be the key in order for you to get your family to where you want to go?
Well, I just feel like, I'm getting leads. I'm only closing 5%. I just feel like it could be better. And,
Right.
I need to do something.
Right, and you believe that I am the person that can help you get there? Yes or no?
I think that you can. I've been watching your YouTube videos. It seems like you can help me. Yeah.
Right, okay, cool. So when you do go away and think about this, like, what do you feel is coming up for you that makes you want to do that, just to kind of make sure that I have and given you all the information you may need to make a better decision or to make some sort of decision?
Well, I just feel like I need to think about it because, it's kind of a lot of money, and I just need to kind of think about where my money's at right now.
Yeah, cool. So we started off with a smoke screen. I'll coach you with the rest of it now. So you started off top of the funnel. So basically, if you guys ever come and get coached by me, or even if you ever wanted to go through this, Mark, so it starts like an upside down funnel. Yeah. So the first one is the biggest smoke screen, which is to think about it. My whole philosophy and my whole process is to get beyond the smoke screen and get it to either money, fear, or logistics. The third question I asked you, what the fuck did you say to me? I got to go away and think about this because it's a lot of
Money.
so now what did I do? I took it away from a think about it. I got double tied down, which is double certainty. Now I moved it into money. Now money is going to come out. It's going to go money, fear, money, logistics. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So money is not actually the objection. So what you would end up having now is either you're going to have a money, fear, or money, fear concern, or you're going to have a money, logistics concern. Before it gets to money, what tends to happen is you will stick a partner objection on that as well, which is the second biggest smoke screen. Yes. And then from there, then it will be a case of, going through the partner frameworks that I coach and train people on. Then it will be tying it into responsibility. And then it gets to money. Once it hits money, you're done, you're cooked, you're won. Because I own the game.
I like that. You know what I love about this, Bill, is you already know what I'm going to say before I say it. You're like, okay, if I ask him this, he's going to answer in one of two or three ways.
Yes.
And this is how I'm going to handle that when he says that. So it's kind of like you can see the future. You can see the future.
I am the matrix when it comes to sales. I am the future of sales. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what you think. That right there will make you millions of dollars. Why? Because I've done it. I come from a small town with 8,000 people in it. If I can do it, based on what I've just went through there in a 3-minute conversation, anyone with any amount of fucking brain cells that can fucking make a ton of money doing that. It's simple once you know what you're doing. It's like the same thing. I didn't even break a sweat here, Mark. And I don't mean to be insulting or rude here. I do this every single day for 10 hours a day. You can't compete with it. Because 6 days a week, 7 days a week, I'm in the game, coaching, training, developing 10 hours a day. That's 60, 70 hours a week on the same thing over and over and over again. It's why Tom Brady became a 7-time Super Bowl winner. Was it 5 times? Was it 7?
Brady is 7, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. I'm not saying I'm fucking Tom Brady, of course, but what I'm saying is, like, if you continuously do the same thing over and over and over again, you become a master at one thing. And I'm a master at objections. I am the only person that can coach and train you on the objections like that. And that's money. That's just pure, unadulterated money, that whole frame.
Love it. Well, and again, just preparing for our session here, I was watching some of your YouTube videos, and you do, I'll give you some flowers here. You do break it down to like 5 or 6 or 7 things to be aware of. Yeah. And once you're aware of that, it just, like, I dig that. You're making it simple. You probably got your notepad out in front of you, and then you make the sales happen. All right, Bill, I want to be respectful for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, you've been coached here live, or watching me being coached live here with Mr. Bill Walsh. Join his school community, join the Facebook group, watch the YouTube, links below. Bill, thanks for joining the show.
I appreciate you, buddy. Behave.